Welcome to the Fit Small Business Xero training course. In this lesson, we're going to cover how to create a cash flow statement in Xero. To follow along with me, log into your Xero account now or click the link below this video for a free 30-day trial of Xero. You can also click this link to access our full Xero course and other helpful resources. Let's get started. A cash flow statement shows the cash coming in and going out of your business during a specific time period, including where it came from and how it was spent. On this report, transactions are categorized into one of the following three types of activities: operating activities, investing activities, and financing activities. Cash in or out for the day-to-day running of the business is included in the operating activities section of the report. For example, cash received from customers or payments made to suppliers qualify as operating activities. Investing activities is the cash flow in or out from purchasing assets for the business, such as equipment. This would include all assets, whether they were paid with cash or financed. Any portion of the purchase that was financed would also appear in the financing activities section of the report. Financing activities. This is cash coming in or going out for the purposes of financing all other business activities which appear in this section of the report. For example, any money invested in the business by the owner and any loans would qualify as financing activities. Cash flow is essential to staying in business. You must stay on top of your cash flow to ensure that you have enough cash coming in to cover your obligations to suppliers and other creditors. In addition, you want to have enough cash flow to reinvest in your business, which will help you grow. Cash flow is actually one of three reports that you should check regularly. The other two are your income statement and balance sheet report. In the How to Create an Income Statement lesson, we discuss the importance of reviewing your income and expenses on a weekly basis to gain insight into trends that could have a positive or negative impact on your bottom line. We also discuss the importance of reviewing your assets and liabilities by creating a balance sheet report. You can click here to access both lessons on the income statement and the balance sheet report. For the rest of this lesson, however, we'll explore how to create and edit a cash flow statement using Xero. To create a cash flow statement in Xero, you want to go ahead and click on the reports and select all reports. The Statement of Cash Flows report is located in the financial section here. You want to go ahead and note that the Statement of Cash Flows is one of many reports that has been redesigned as indicated with the new button here to the right. So we'll go ahead and run a Statement of Cash Flows. The first field is the date range field. So from the drop down, you can select a preset time period here that you'd like to run the report for, or you can actually enter custom dates in these fields. Once you've made your selection for the date range, go ahead and click the update button so that the information on the report will refresh. Here is a sample statement of cash flows for our fictitious company, Acme Web Pros Plus. The cash flow statement can be saved as a PDF, Excel, or Google Sheets document. At the bottom of the report, you'll see a button that says Export, and then you can select the appropriate option to save your report. You can also save the cash flow statement as a draft, published, or custom report. If you save it as a draft, it allows you to create a report that you or someone else can make changes to later on. You might create several draft reports before you are ready to publish them. You want to use the Publish option to save reports when you are finalizing the books for the month or the year. A published report will not change if for some reason the information in the system has changed. You can only publish reports if you have the Advisor user role. Click here to learn more about user permissions. And Custom. You want to use the Custom option if you want to save the report format so that you don't have to recreate it each time you run the report. You can save a custom report as your default report. Xero will give you a prompt for this. We'll show you how to save a custom report format in the next section here. Similar to both the income statement and the balance sheet report, you can modify a cash flow statement in the following three ways. You can change the report title, you can modify the report settings, or you can rearrange the layout and format of the report. You can easily change the title for most of the reports that you create in Xero. To do this, you just want to go ahead and hover your mouse right over the title of the report, and you should see a link to the right that says Edit Title. Go ahead and click that link, and then you can make the necessary changes to the title of the report. Depending on the report that you're running in Xero, the report settings will vary. So typically your report settings on any report will be located to the right of your date range fields. So you can simply just click that report settings link there. For the cash flow statement, you can actually change the period that you're comparing the report to. You can change the gross tax net settings here. You can determine whether you want to show decimals on the report or not. And you can also filter by what we call tracking categories. In this example would be region. So we've got our date range selected. So if we go down to the previous period comparison, here you want to enter the number of periods that you would like to compare the current report to. So for example, we are running our report for the month of June. If we were to compare this to the previous period by just selecting a 1 here, then the report would add a column for the previous period, which in this case would be the month of May. Tax. By default, revenue and expense accounts will display gross amounts, which are considered tax inclusive by default. If you would like revenue and expense accounts to display net amounts, then you'd want to make the net tax on operating activities selection here. If you prefer to see whole numbers on your report, then you could simply remove this show decimals check mark here so that is how your report reflects the numbers. And then finally, tracking category. If you have tracking categories set up in Xero, then you can click the drop down and you will see a list of the categories that you can filter your report by. You could either select all the categories as they've done here, or you could remove that all check mark and just select certain categories here. Once you have made your selections, you want to be sure to go ahead and click the update button so that the report will refresh with your changes. And so here's our previous period column that I had mentioned would show up since we wanted to compare our current month with our previous period. The Edit Layout Designer tool allows you to make custom changes to the layout of your reports. You can make changes such as add additional columns for tracking notes or totals. You can change account groupings. You can edit formulas. And you can rearrange columns by clicking and dragging them. So let's go ahead and create a custom report for our fictitious company. If you scroll down to the bottom of the report, you'll see the button that says Edit Layout. I want to go ahead and click on that. Now for this particular custom report, Acme Web Pros Plus does not have employees currently. And if you'll notice here, the second line on the report says payments to suppliers and employees. So we're going to make a simple change and just get rid of that and employees since it's not applicable at this time to our sample company. Up at the top here for Edit Layout Designer is the actual toolbar. So you can actually customize the text on a report. You can add a footer to the report. You can add a row, or you can add a column. In this section of the report, you'll be able to see the changes that you make in real time. So to make the change to the description that we'd like to do, we're going to just simply click on the particular row that we'd like to change. And then notice over to the right here is where we actually can edit the text. So we'll just get rid of that and employees as I mentioned. Once you've made all of your changes, you can simply click this blue Done button. And then it will make the change to the report and take us back to our actual cash flow statement. Here is our updated cash flow statement report, and as you can see, that second line now just says payments to suppliers and the and employees piece is gone. Now if we want to go ahead and save this so that every time we run this cash flow statement, it always has this description, we can actually save this as a custom report. So to do that, you want to go ahead and click the Save As button at the very bottom of the report and select Custom. In this field, you want to go ahead and indicate the name of your custom report. So you want to put something that differentiates this report from the default report. I'm just going to put V1 for version 1. You can put your name, or you can completely rename this altogether. And then you can also make this the default view for your report. So each time you come in, this is the version of the cash flow statement that will run. So once you have made all your changes, you can simply click the Save button. And our custom report has been saved. That wraps up the lesson on how to create a cash flow statement in Xero. To access our full Xero course or any of the other lessons in this series, click this link. You can also find a link below this video for a free 30-day trial of Xero. If you have feedback about this course, or if you have any questions, please leave a comment below. Also, don't forget to subscribe.